HRWize allows you to apply a working pattern to one or more of your employees to help you and them understand where they are expected to work and when they are not. To use this feature, we must ensure that it is enabled in the Module section via Administration, Company, Settings, and then Display Settings. Make sure that the working pattern is ticked in the Module Display section. To create and apply a working pattern to an individual employee, we must go to People and then Employees. Find the employee you want to apply a working pattern to. Then scroll down your screen and click on the working pattern icon. Here, you must enter the date that this working pattern becomes effective from. If we leave this end date field blank, the working pattern will expire at the end of the holiday year. Meter will be set to either days or hours depending on the employee's profile set by their benefits icon. And in this field, we'll come back to the working pattern template just a little later. Now, we can decide which type of working pattern we would like to apply for this employee. First, we'll look at the alternating pattern. Since this employee's meter is days, we can add a 1 in the days they are expected to work. In this case, Monday to Friday. And then half a day for every third of the Saturday. Please note, if the employee books time off on a day they are scheduled to work half a day, then the system will deduct only half a day. If the employee's meter was in hours, then we would add the hours per day the employee is expected to work. The 4-week varying pattern allows you to define different days for particular weeks. So for example, during week 1, an employee may work Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. But then in week 2, the employee may only work Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. It's very important to know that you must always enter the working pattern across all 4 weeks. So as for this example, as our pattern is only 2 weeks, we must repeat both of the first and second week patterns into the rows week 3 and 4. Selecting the week's pattern loop until end date, this will automatically cycle through the working pattern until the end date, which will need to be ended at the top of the page. If the checkbox is not selected, the working pattern will create one single 4-week pattern. The last option we have is to enter the number of days the employee will work and the number of days that they are off. So for example, we can put 4 days on and then 3 days off. Now we have our added working pattern. You can go ahead and click on Submit once you are done. Please note that none of these working patterns take into any consideration of time off, weekends, or public holidays. Now, scrolling down, we can see the working pattern days for this employee based on the working pattern we have created above. We can edit or delete these individual days, perhaps to take any consideration of any time off or a change from a day to a half day. If we click on the Reset All button, then all of this employee's working pattern days will be deleted. And adding a working pattern here works well if you apply this working pattern to one employee only. If you want to apply a working pattern to more than one employee and also define the start and end times, we can go ahead and click on Administration, HR, and then working patterns. And here we can build any working pattern templates, which can then be applied to multiply employees by clicking on the Add button. The template looks similar to the individual working pattern, but does not have any fields for effective date or end date. Here we'll enter a name for our pattern, which in this case is called IT. And then we can add the days or half days just as we did for the individual working pattern. However, instead of days, we can add start and end times by selecting the start and end time base pattern. And now we can create similar patterns just as before, but specifying the start and end times for each day in alternating patterns and the 4-week varying pattern. Then when we're done, we can go ahead and click on Submit, followed by a Cancel. And now we're ready to apply the template to our employees. We can go ahead to an individual employee and apply the template by the working patterns icon. And here we can enter the effective date as well as the end date. And in the working pattern template field, we could choose IT. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and click on Submit. But for now, we'll click on Cancel. Now that you're ready to apply to only one individual employee, we'll go ahead and try to apply to some or all of your employees by going to Administration, HR, and then Working Patterns. So we'll go ahead and click on the Publish icon of the IT Working Pattern template. And from the Selection Method dropdown, we can select Employees or Metadata. But for now, we'll click on Employees. Choose an effective start date, and then an end date. And then you can choose which employees, roles, or departments, managers, or sites to publish to. When we're done, we can go ahead and click on the Publish button, and then click on Cancel. So not only we've been able to apply our working pattern to multiple employees, we were also able to specify the start and end times using the working pattern template. Now, if we go to one of our employees we published a template to, such as Stephen Foster, we can go ahead and click on the working patterns icon. And then scrolling down, we can see the days they are now scheduled to work, including their start and end times. Now, logging in as Stephen Foster, they can see their working pattern displayed in their calendar.